MEC, thanks so much for your time. I see that you have grouped these infrastructure projects in different categories from platinum, gold and coal. Perhaps we begin with the ones that you're planning immediately in the short term. Can you talk to us about those, where they'll be, what they will be?
Yes, thank you very much and good afternoon, and thanks for the opportunity. Today, we, as the provincial government in Gauteng, we have announced a multi-billion infrastructure delivery pipeline of projects, or put alternatively, the portfolio of infrastructure projects that we will be delivering over the 3-year medium-term expenditure framework period. And correctly, as you say, we've got a set of projects that will be delivered in the current financial year, and those, we call them platinum projects. Those projects are about 63 in total, and they are valued at 459 million. And then we have got a set of projects that we call silver. And the distinguishing factor here is they will be delivered in the next financial year, which is 2021 financial year. And those projects are about, the total number of those projects is about 188, and their value is 966 million. The last portfolio in the outer year, it's about 89 projects, and these ones are valued at 260 million. So in total, the value of our infrastructure project portfolio is 4.5 billion in the medium-term period of 3 years. And this may also increase as we conclude discussions with Treasury. And this will clearly mean 4.5 billion of productive assets, capital assets into our communities to make sure that our people can be able to live, improved quality of standards, and also be able to ensure that in communities we have got productive assets. In this case, we are trying to deal with a challenge of chronic underinvestment in infrastructure in many of our communities, and this is because of the legacy of underdevelopment, especially in the townships, and we're quite confident that we will be able to make a meaningful contribution to growing our economy, fighting poverty, and of course, creating necessary income for people to be able to participate meaningfully in the economy, and in that way we hope to be able to enhance the necessary turnaround of the socio-economic development in our province.
And MEC, I see that you're making use of quite interesting technology there in this development. You have piloted using drones to address some of the troubleshooting measures there. Take us through the success of the pilot study using drones and what you expect this kind of technology to do.
Thank you very much. Just as a brief context, we have done an international study on what are the major challenges that faces infrastructure delivery globally. And we found that in many instances, even where government, particularly post the global financial crisis, even where governments have increased investments in infrastructure, we found that efficiency is still a big problem. We also found that in our country, there's what is called the Construction Confidence Index, which is released most on a quarterly basis. Over the past years, the Construction Confidence Index indicates that whilst government has committed to deliver almost infrastructure worth R1 trillion, which is one of the biggest investment portfolios that we have, but on the contrary, the sentiment and confidence levels in the construction sector are very low. So in other words, we have a paradox of high investment and low sentiment, and we had to find out where lies the mischief. and we found that inefficiencies are a big problem. That's why we have introduced innovative and, of course, creative smart technologies to address these problems. One, we rely on our officials as project managers using their level of human intelligence. We back that up with business intelligence. We have got a system in our back office in what we call Lutzinger Infrastructure Nerve Center, where we have got very good technology to look at performance of our projects. Of late, we have added yet another innovation that is in line with what is called the fourth industrial revolution, in which we use a drone fitted with artificial intelligence. So these three sources of intelligence give us powerful data, and this data is the single source of the truth. It helps us to troubleshoot, to know where there are problems, to know what interventions to make, because infrastructure delayed, its quality of life delayed. Infrastructure that are delivered at high cost, this is a problem to the public purse, and of course there are risks related to quality. So with these innovations and infrastructure smart technologies we have put into the system, we can say to the investors that we will be able to show them a full portfolio and profile of infrastructure risks so that they can be able to know whether they can get high rates of returns of their investment. And with the level of transparency that we are bringing into our project management processes, we are quite sure that any investor should be comfortable to invest on our infrastructure projects in the province.